level, we are dealing with layers. If I move now back and forward, I'm moving in time, so to speak. You are early. I'm now at, let's say, at the time that we're digging this layer. When I move here, I'm above this layer. So we constantly have to somehow recreate the slope in order to gain control
The
of this
degree
layer.
here is about, I don't know, 45 degrees, a little more than 45 degrees.
Exactly. And what we realized when we came here, when we started doing this section, that it's impossible to dig it the way we're supposed to dig it. So what we decided, and the amount of pottery, that is too much. So what we decided is that we are going to make a section. Collect everything that we can, sample everything that we can.
What is a section?
A section is a cut into the tail and the layers of the cake, so to speak. But the layers of the cake here are not flat, but tilted. After we have the section, and after we can look at it, and we understand it, we are in next week probably even, going to move back the section, dig the meter that we see now, and then have strings laid across the section. It tells the excavators, now you excavate, okay, the string is tilted also, like following the line of the layer. And I'm telling them, now you take this meter and you dig it like that.
And
okay?
take the whole layer out as an integral layer.
Exactly. And this is what is brought into the sifting and into the wet sifting and then the picking and so on. This is the meter that we are in control, that I know that it's only that layer. And then the earth layer will be a separate layer. And then the next pottery layer will be the next layer. And then we can start doing statistics. I'm seeing more cooking pots, I'm seeing more, let's say, eating vessels. I'm seeing more animal bones of that kind or different kinds. So at the moment, everybody is looking at that, and including me, as one big trash of 50 years. Maybe through our work where we excavate it, peel it layer by layer, we'll be able to see differences in life or whatever.
All of a sudden, Mattel came out with new toys, which
exactly.
only appeared here, yes.
Exactly. And then we'll compare it also, again, like I said, to the other excavations. Did Ronnie Reich, Eli Shukron, Guy Baoz, and Ram Buchnik. When they did this section, they said, from what they published, is that they don't see these stone vessels, the Jewish ritual stone vessels. We are seeing them not by the hundreds, but we're seeing them here. What are these differences reflecting? Okay? Is that just a matter of how things were excavated, or this is a matter of something real that existed, the different sectors of the city?
What is the range of periods that we're talking about here, the earliest to the latest, in this section?
In this section.
Yes.
We are all in one time.
You want a periodic table?
Thank you.
We are all in one time. This is 50, it's not the end yet, but this is 50 years of the Roman times. That's it. From zero as kind of a schematic point till the destruction of the city in 74 AD. That's
Now,
it.
we're only in one section, but is there any way to analyze from the amount of pottery how many people were living here?
Not that I know, but it's going to be very difficult. First of all, we have two sections. We have another section there that is much deeper, and we're still in the same layers.
Is there a ratio of pottery usage per person that you would be able to say that in this layer, which is from the year 43 Common Era, how many people would have wasted those pots? We may not be able to do the whole city, but you could extrapolate, but you could say for this slope. I'm asking the question again, but tighter.
I don't think it was ever done.
A cooking pot serves 6 people usually at a meal.
So no, our database, data line, the peg that we will compare everything is not so much ethnography, cooking pot serves, but the excavations that were conducted the Jewish quarter and the burnt house. The burnt house is a house that existed exactly at that time. And because it was destroyed, everything stayed over there. So there you can see a house has, I don't know, for a matter
It's
of
our
speaking.
Vesuvius.
Exactly.
But those are the wealthy people.
Okay, but then we'll see what are the differences. Okay, if over there a typical house has 20 cooking pots, or let's say 20% of the vessels are cooking pots, and we see here that only 5% of the vessels are cooking pots.
They had meat less often, let's
Exactly,
say.
something like that. There was Ronnie Reich, Ram Buchnik also, they somehow tied the amount of pottery that we see here to the fact that Jerusalem served as a place of pilgrim 3 times a year. Thousands of Jews are coming into the city from Judah and the Galilee. This is a day like the Mimuna for, I don't know, 3 weeks 3 times a year. The amount of garbage,
Huge.
okay, maybe this is what we're seeing here.
I have a friend, Benny Rosen, who lives over a Nachal just outside of Jerusalem. And it's where everybody goes to picnic during Passover, during Sukkot. So I saw him just now after Passover. He said, our local garbage people have been working for 2 days straight without rest, picking up the garbage of the people left. We haven't had our own garbage picked up yet because we are snowed under. So that's a typical thing to happen. 250,000 people to 500,000 people in Meron. So here you had many, many more. Last thing, Jody Magnus has suggestions in terms of the size of the openings of pots when they're using meat, when they're not using meat, and how it reflects in diet. Very interesting.
I had the lecture, yeah.